The Bright scene from like my perspective, or like us as a band, in a more like the kind of like hardcore scene, is very, it's very like just friendly and very like inclusive. It's kind of like if you come into the scene, then immediately, no matter who you find, if you find someone that's in it, either they're like promoters or they are in bands there, or they produce a lot of that kind of music, or they just go to loads of gigs, they will without a doubt know someone else. And then you just kind of, and then you realise that it's like, it's tight knit but it's not gatekeepy, so it's like there's no judgment at all, but it's like, and so it's really easy to be a part of, but once you're a part of it, it's very connected, so it feels quite like, could be perceived as like cliquey, but it's just so welcoming. You just get in and it's just like, right, you're our friend now. That's definitely what I've found, because we've got loads of friends from meeting them in the scene and doing gigs and stuff. It's definitely the one.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many good people trying to do good things because it's a good thing to do, not because like they're trying to get something out of it, or trying to be the biggest band or the biggest promoter or whatever. It's just people kind of supporting each other and working together. It's like, no matter kind of who you are or where you're from, like, it's just an inclusive space to be in.
I mean, I live in London, so it's like, where I live there's no scene. It's like, there's a pub and that's it. And then when you come down here, everyone knows everyone, and it's like really weird because it's a big city, but everyone knows everyone, and it's just like, it's just a bit bizarre. It's a bit bizarre, because all you've got to go over is like, where I live is just an open mic night, and 50-year-old Dave's brought his acoustic out and that's it.
Yeah, and I've never heard anyone that like I know when I like walk outside here, for example, or any like venue, and I bump into someone I know, like it will be like, I've never heard anyone say anything that's a negative thing about any other band. You'll be like, oh hey, so and so is playing here, and they'll go, oh I fucking love those guys, they're so sick, they've done this and that and this, and like everyone just keeps like really like keeps up with each other's stuff and only ever builds each other up, if they're in the room or playing that night or not. Like, so it's just really wholesome, I would find, even if like I can only speak on the scene that we're in, which is kind of the more like kind of old like rock scene, but like that particular kind of area, everyone's just so friendly and so wholesome. Yeah, no, this particular gig is quite interesting, with like who, like on the subject of who we'd want to play with or who we have played with in the past, because we're finally playing with Silk Tape, but we're kind of like I would say calling it like internet band friends, because we've been trying to get a gig together for nearly a year now, but because we've like had that conflicting like schedules and stuff, we've never actually managed to get a gig together. But we've always just been chatting and like sending each other like silly memes and all that lot, and then even though we've always played with them for ages, we finally got on the gig and we're like, yeah, Silk Tape, they're so sick, and then we've just met them today, which is like, so for me, I've been super excited to play with Silk Tape today. We've played with loads of cool guys like before, just very lucky band to play with, so all the nice wonderful people of the scene. Cutting Ties, R.I.P. Always got to gas them up.
Yeah, they were fun.
Yeah, they were great. I mean, they're still around, obviously, but yeah, loved gigging with those guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many bands. It's just so diverse in terms of genre and in terms of the people playing. It's like there's punk bands, metal bands, indie bands, all kind of like sharing the same space and playing on gigs with each other. It doesn't feel like, sometimes you'll see gigs that are advertised and it's like, it's a metal show, it's a punk show, it's an indie show, but kind of anything we're involved with, it doesn't feel like that. It just feels like people playing songs and having a good time with each other.
Yeah, we've had some weird lineups, haven't we?
Yeah, and it's like, it just shouldn't work.
But it worked.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't work, but then once you get to like, afterwards, like at the beginning of the gig, and you see them and hear them in soundcheck, you're like, this is sick, we sound nothing like that. It'll be like, but then after you've done the gig, you're like, why did that go so hard? Like, why was that so good? that's like, those are some of like my favourite gigs. I'm trying to think of a band that was like especially really like different to us who we played with, but we just like, it was just so...
Yeah, there's been too many.
Austin Showers.
Austin Showers, yeah.
Do you remember Parabellum?
Parabellum,
Who's
yeah.
the one at the Bee's Mouth? They had that weird funky pedal thing.
Oh, the Atom Jacks.
Yeah.
Oh my god, those guys.
So much cool stuff.
They're sick. You should listen to the Atom Jacks. They're sick.
Yeah, like sand rock.
Yeah. He's so sick.
I can see you stare. Now won't you come over?
We started off at Bright Electric recording drums.
Weird.
Well, I wasn't there because the weird thing where everyone had to stay inside. I had that.
You called me on the morning. I was like, I've got COVID. I was
Yeah. Tommy, we were literally meant to be rehearsing. Tommy was going to stop over and then we were going to record, but I called him in the morning of while he was about to get in his car and said, "Nope, got that. You can't come over." Which was really sad because obviously we were waiting for so long to get back in a studio to play music and write music as a band that it was just really kind of heartbreaking. But yeah, these two kind of went along and got some sick sounding drums for 3 new tracks, and then one of the tracks was moved over from recording a previous time at Brighton Electric.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mix and mash, wasn't it?
It was.
Because we recorded a couple of stuff at Small Pond, all the guitars and that. And we recorded the drums at Brighton Electric, but then we used drums from another track.
Yeah.
And then vocals you two did.
Yeah,
I
my flat.
I just gave him a mic and I was like,
Yeah. But
I still got that.
Yeah, I know.
other than going to Brighton Electric, it was literally all ourselves. So it's kind of like I helped redo vocals. Me and Tommy did guitars in a practice room at Small Pond, and just some microphones that Tommy had lying around that we shoved on some guitars and just went for it. So it was kind of like really limited equipment, really DIY, and then we're looking at Tommy as a producer. So
Yeah, and then
Tommy
we.
produced the whole thing.
It was a bit rusty.
Yeah.
So great.
I'd done it for 2 years.
But then we got Kogalo from Tidal Wave Productions. He mastered the entire thing, and so that was nice to have an outsider perspective and also a friend, because he knows our sound, he knows what we go for, what we like, and then just like, and he's like literally, he's so sweet, but also his criticism is always like constructive.
Yeah.
So.
And I wound him right up and all.
Yeah, he's sick. So he did all the mastering, and it was quite funny. Even though you couldn't make the drumming, like the drum sessions where we were recording, like you still got me, and you were like, you'd like send me messages being like, right, record everything, write down everything, and let me know. And in the group chat, I'd send in little videos. I was like, what time he's recording, and I just see on the group chat, Alex would just be like, tell him to do it this way. Tell him to do it that way. Even I can just imagine you in your hoodie in bed, just being like.
Yeah.
But then when I was recording, I had my phone down by the floor, Tom, so I could just see all these messages popping up, and halfway through a take, I just get him over there telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Through you.
Through me, yeah, just being like, do this differently.
Yeah. I was just sitting in bed, just like bored. I wasn't even that ill. I was quite lucky. I didn't get it very bad at all that time around.
Just like Big Brother.
Yeah, just so bored.
But yeah, it was a big old mismatch, but it was like big team effort, I reckon.
Yeah, it was good.
And then a little bit of.
Took way too long.
I was like, yeah, it took.
That's my fault.
A year and a half, years. Just a year. Just a year of our time.
Won't you come over to me? Tell me you don't
My inspiration, just all the bleak shit, just being straight on it. It just makes my day-to-day me happier, being able to talk about the things that make me feel like shit through music, because then you can just kind of perform it and be like, and get a way to like say how you feel without actually having to say it. So yeah, totally, just like the entire thing was just like, for me, just like not being good enough, the self-loathing, all the fun stuff. Regretting like relationships that, or like the way you handled them, whether it's not just like romantic, that's like friends and family and everything, just all that kind of stuff. Just kind of, I think with like the other songs that we've done before, like not to say it, but like pre-COVID, I think because that's kind of when I feel like that's where I've seen like a big difference in like our sound and just like vibe. But I think all the stuff pre then was like, I don't know, I think a lot of, like, I still like my lyrics, but I feel like a lot of them were like trying to be something and coming from a place of experience and just like small bits. But what I like about this one is that I didn't trust myself because I wrote them in like 30 minutes, or like when we were like rehearsing together, I'd come up with the lyrics, and then I'd be like, God, that was too easy. But it's actually because I actually felt that way. So I quite like it. When I listen to it, I'm like, it doesn't make me feel sad or anything. It makes me feel like cathartic. So that's kind of where my head was at when I wrote them, but I didn't know it at the time. And it's when you look back on it, I listen back to it, I'm like, oh shit, like I felt that way, you know?
I don't hear your lyrics until I mix, which is really weird. Because when I mix, I'm like, oh, she says that. Yeah. Like, Death of an Entertainer, how long have we had that song?
Oh my gosh, I
never knew the lyrics until I got in front of the speaker. But I mean, they're good.
Oh, thanks.
For me, I just find a band I like and then steal their stuff. Usually, yeah.
Yeah, I do that.
Go on, name them.
No.
Drop them.
No.
Tell us.
I mean, inside, I was listening to loads of Mastodon, so I was trying to make a vibe like similar to that. Definitely, I don't know what I was thinking, but something weird.
And somehow you
maybe Radiohead or something.
Somehow you still blame me for that song.
It's your fault.
5 minutes.
Make Your Way to Me, I really don't know. We just kind of came up with that really quickly in rehearsal.
I got raw blood at that.
Yeah,
we wrote it just after the album came out, and I was like, oh, we'll do that.
I don't listen to a lot of raw blood, but maybe.
Yeah, but then also Architects for me, because I had a massive Architects phase. Like I just decided they're the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, we need to do a song like this, and they just kept saying, no, we don't need to do it. I was like, okay, fine, we don't. But then all of their drums are still in.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I mean.
So they steal, and I'm like severely depressed. Don't approach us. We've got a lot going on. There's thieves, and there's everything going on right now.
Yeah. We're a collective, aren't we?
No. Sunshine and rainbows.
How are we a band?
That's not exactly what I say.
I'm taking the credit. I'm so taking the credit.
I sent out a message on a group chat while we were at BIM, and you two responded.
No, that's not how it happened.
No,
That's not how it happened.
No. I back Rhiannon.
Back me. He sent a message on the on the BIM chat, because we're all from BIM, and that will be our cross to bear for the rest of our lives. But he put on basically on Facebook, being like, I'm looking for a band because we had exams to do and also just like get band in. And Tommy and I had previously met. It was at like a networking event, and it was I was miserable because I showed up by myself, and he had a little name tag on. I stuck a little name tag on, and it said, hi, it says your name and what you're looking for, and you were other musicians. And I was like, hi, I'm Rhiannon, and I'm looking for other people to be in a band. I'm a singer, blah blah blah. And like, because there was like just this intention in the room with everyone's got this like motivation to like only talk to the people that they are looking for. Just like I just couldn't talk to anyone. I just got completely like just embarrassed by the whole situation. And then like I was like ready to like give up and go home, and then I saw you chilling with your friend Hannah, and then we were just kind of like, like this sucks, isn't it? But there was like free booze, and so we ended up just like hanging out, getting really drunk. But yours said producer on it, and we were like, well, we don't really know what we're gonna do like with each other music going on, but it's lovely to meet you. This guy's sick, and he offhandedly mentioned he played drums, and then we started chatting on Facebook, and then you were like, do you know someone that plays drums, because we needed a drummer? And I was like, no, yes, no, maybe. And then I text you being like, I don't really remember because I was pretty fucked up, but do you play drums? And you were like, yeah, I do. And I was like, let's play in a band. And you were like, I'll go for one session and see what it's like.
And then 5 years later.
And then Alex was just like, grabbed you by the neck and was like,
yeah. Yeah, Reed came over and was like, "Oh, here's a bunch of Smith songs I think we should cover," and I was like,
That's
fine, but we're not doing that."
Oh. We ended up doing Hungry Like the Wolf.
Yeah. But we'll hear no slander towards
No.
No, we did Sweet Disposition.
We did Sweet Disposition. We did Creep.
Why did you do that? You made me do that.
Because I'm a creep, man.
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo.
That's how that.
That's how that happened.
Well, we had a bassist, didn't we? We had a bassist. We don't mention his name.
Gareth. I fucking love Gareth.
We love Gareth.
He's now just an octave pedal that's on his pedal board.
We jokingly don't speak his name because once Gareth left and Alex started making the bass sound himself through like what is it, OC5 you've got now that you use for it?
It was OC3.
It was one of them, and then you got a sticker and just put over the top of it and just wrote Gareth 2.0, and that's just and then he'd be like, oh, like if it was sounding really thin, he'd be like, oh, I forgot to turn on Gareth, just fucking kick the shit out of this pedal. Like,
The first thing I did when he left the band was put that bit of tape on and write Gareth on it and then send him a picture of it. Because we're still friends. It's fun.
Oh, we love Gareth.
I mean, I haven't seen him for like 2 years or spoken to him, but I'm sure we could go for a bit.
I hope he's well.
Yeah. And we were just doing that because we were gonna wait till we found a bassist, and then Alex was actually like, I'm into it now.
We're just doing it.
So yeah, that's us. Midnight treat, bring her to the boil, or